All right, ready to jump back in time.
Back in time.
Yeah, back in time.
To
a battle that literally shook the world.
Okay. I'm intrigued. Tell me more.
Battle of the Nile.
Ah, the Nile.
1798.
1798.
You guys sent us some incredible source material.
Wow. Well, we appreciate the submissions. What kind of stuff?
First-hand accounts from sailors.
Oh, first-hand accounts, those are always the best.
Yeah.
Right there in the
In
action.
the thick of it, yeah.
What else?
Expert analysis
Okay.
from naval historians
Love it.
and a Victorian poem
Oh, wow.
that captures the drama
The drama of the moment.
of the moment.
You know what's so captivating about this battle is that it wasn't simply a clash of ships.
No?
It was a clash of ambitions.
Right.
Personalities.
Yeah.
Entire empires vying for dominance.
Yeah. It's a huge moment in history.
Huge stakes.
Exactly.
Actually.
So picture this.
Okay.
Napoleon Bonaparte,
Yes.
fresh off his conquest of Egypt, aiming to disrupt British trade routes
Sure.
and establish French power in the East.
Of course. I mean, that was the whole point of the Egyptian campaign, right? Cut off British access to India.
Yeah.
Strike a blow at the heart of their empire.
But standing in his way
Oh, there's always a but.
is Horatio Nelson.
The legendary Horatio Nelson.
Yeah.
What a figure.
A man driven by a burning desire
A burning desire.
to crush French naval power.
Well, it makes sense. I mean, Nelson was obsessed with defeating the French, saw them as a threat to everything Britain stood for.
And it's almost as if fate had a hand in it.
Fate.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So Nelson was initially dispatched to intercept Napoleon's fleet,
Okay.
but they narrowly missed each other.
They just missed each other.
Yeah.
Wow.
The French successfully landed in Alexandria,
Okay.
seized control of Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Napoleon triumphantly marching into Cairo.
It must have been a significant blow to Nelson. I mean, this was a man known for his relentless pursuit of victory.
You can practically feel the tension
Oh, yeah.
in the first-hand accounts
I bet.
as Nelson chases the French fleet across the Mediterranean.
Across the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
It was a cat and mouse game.
The British, fueled by Nelson's inspiring leadership
Right.
and unwavering confidence.
Nelson was known for that.
Yeah.
Inspiring his men.
We're practically giddy
Giddy.
with anticipation.
Giddy with anticipation.
Yeah.
Wow.
Convinced that a decisive victory was within their grasp.
You know that unwavering confidence, that belief in their own superiority?
Yeah.
It was a hallmark of Nelson's command.
Yeah.
He instilled this incredible sense of unity and purpose
Yeah.
in his fleet,
Yeah.
turning them into a truly formidable force.
Yeah.
It's no wonder they were so eager.
So here's the scene.
Okay.
Napoleon's fleet,
Mm-hmm.
commanded by Admiral Brueys,
Buoys, okay.
is anchored in Aboukir Bay,
Aboukir Bay.
feeling relatively secure.
Relatively secure.
Yeah, thanks to the treacherous shoals
Treacherous shoals.
surrounding them.
Ah, interesting. So the geography is playing a role here.
Yeah, these shoals, essentially underwater sandbanks,
Right, sandbanks, I got it.
made navigation extremely difficult,
Okay.
creating a natural barrier against attack.
So Bruce is feeling pretty confident.
Yeah.
Here comes the butt.
As we'll see,
Uh-oh.
they fatally underestimated Nelson's tactical genius.
Nelson, always one step ahead.
Brueys, assuming the British would attack from the seaward side,
Makes sense.
concentrated his defenses there.
Okay.
However,
Oh,
Nelson, ever the innovator,
always thinking outside the box.
had a brilliant plan up his sleeve,
Ooh, a brilliant plan. I love it.
anchoring from the stern.
Anchoring from the stern.
Yeah.
That's unusual.
This revolutionary maneuver
Okay.
allowed his ships to approach the French line,
Mm-hmm.
come to a sudden stop
Okay.
without swinging,
Got it.
and unleash a devastating,
Devastating.
double-sided attack.
A double-sided attack.
Yeah.
So he's basically catching them in a crossfire.
Now, this wasn't something just any navy could pull off.
Right.
Nelson knew his crews were the best trained,
Okay.
the most disciplined,
The British Navy was known for its discipline.
yeah, and the most prepared in the world.
Years of experience at sea.
It was a risky move, no doubt.
Very risky.
But if it worked,
If it worked.
they'd have the French trapped between two lines of fire.
Pincer movement. Classic tactic.
And let me tell you,
Tell me.
it worked brilliantly.
It worked.
Yeah.
Wow.
The impact was immediate
Immediate.
and devastating.
Devastating.
The French ships on the larboard side,
The larboard side.
the ones closest to the shore,
Okay.
were caught completely off
They're
guard
off guard.
by this unexpected assault.
Completely unexpected.
ships like the Guerrier
The Guerrier,
and the Conquerant.
Conquerant. Big names.
Yeah, despite their intimidating names.
Intimidating names.
Were simply no match
No match.
for the focused
A focus.
and relentless British firepower,
Relentless.
adding to the drama.
Adding to the drama.
This battle was fought as the sun was setting,
Okay.
casting a blood-red glow
Oh, wow.
over the Egyptian coast.
Setting the scene.
Can you imagine being there?
It must have been incredible.
The deafening roar of cannons,
I bet.
the splintering of wood,
Yeah.
the cries of the wounded,
Oh, yeah.
amidst the smoke and chaos.
Smoke and chaos.
It was a brutal, bloody affair.
It was a brutal time.
But amidst the carnage,
Amidst the carnage.
incredible acts of courage emerged.
Oh, I bet. On both sides.
On both sides, yeah.
There's a story of a young British sailor, still a teenager,
Yeah,
who continued to fire his cannon,
yeah.
even after having his hand blown off.
Oh, wow.
He simply refused to leave his post.
That's incredible.
It's a testament to the sheer grit and determination of these sailors, fighting for their lives and their nations.
And you see that same unwavering commitment
Really?
on the French side, too,
Wow.
especially aboard their flagship,
The flagship. Okay.
the Lorient.
A Lorient.
The Lorient was a colossal ship,
Colossal.
larger than any in the British fleet.
Wow. A behemoth.
Its captain, Admiral Brueys, was
Yeah.
mortally wounded early in the battle,
Oh, no.
but refused to leave his post,
Wow.
choosing to die with his ship.
That's powerful.
It's a powerful image of defiance
Defiance.
and loyalty,
What?
even in the face of certain defeat.
Even in the face of defeat.
And then there's the
Okay.
heart-wrenching story
Our romantic story, okay.
of a young son
The young son.
of the Lorient's captain,
The captain's son.
a boy named Casabianca.
Casabianca.
He was ordered by his father to stay at his post,
Oh, gosh.
and he refused to leave,
No.
even as the ship was engulfed in flames.
Oh, my goodness.
It's a story that's been immortalized.
Immortalized.
In that Victorian poem you mentioned,
Oh, right. Yeah, the poem.
a poignant reminder of the human cost of war.
Absolutely.
It's crucial to remember that amidst the grand strategy,
Mm-hmm.
the clash of empires,
Right.
there were also individual stories
Individual stories.
of extraordinary courage,
Yeah.
heartbreaking loss,
Mm-hmm.
and unwavering dedication to duty
Dedication to duty.
on both sides.
Both sides.
These stories help us understand the true human cost
The human cost.
of a conflict of this magnitude.
Absolutely. But as the battle raged on,
Yeah.
the tide was turning decisively in favor of the British.
Ship after ship in the French line
Mm-hmm.
was being systematically crippled,
Systematically crippled.
picked off one by the well-coordinated British captains.
And that's a testament to the effectiveness of Nelson's tactics.
Yeah.
He understood the importance of focused firepower, concentrating strength on key targets.
Like a chess master.
Exactly. He was like a chess master out there,
Yeah.
anticipating his opponent's moves
Yeah.
and exploiting their weaknesses.
With incredible precision.
Incredible precision.
And speaking of weaknesses,
Oh, weaknesses.
it seems the French had one
Uh-oh.
that proved to be absolutely fatal.
Fatal. Okay.
And it was tied to their flagship.
The flagship, the Lorient.
Ah, the Lorient.
This brings us to one of the most dramatic
Yeah.
and shocking moments in naval history.
The explosion that literally stopped the battle
Literally stopped the battle
in its tracks.
in its tracks.
Yeah.
Exactly. This is where things take a truly dramatic turn.
Yeah.
A truly dramatic
A
turn.
dramatic turn.
Yeah. So the Lorient, the French flagship,
It explodes.
it explodes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hard to even imagine the sheer scale
The scale of this explosion.
of this explosion.
Yeah.
What we're talking about is a massive wooden warship
Okay.
packed with gunpowder and ammunition
All right.
going up in a colossal fireball.
It's like something out of a movie.
And remember, this was the age of sail.
Yeah, at the age of sail.
Naval warfare was a brutal up-close affair.
Absolutely brutal.
So when the Lorient exploded, it sent shockwaves,
Shockwaves.
not only through the water,
Yeah.
but also through the very fabric of the battle itself.
Wow, I bet.
You mentioned earlier that the battle paused
Yeah.
for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, yeah.
After the explosion.
After the explosion.
That's incredible.
What's hard to fathom.
Can you imagine being in the middle of this this fierce fight?
Yeah.
Cannons roaring,
Right?
And then suddenly,
Suddenly,
there's sight.
silence. It's almost as if time stood still.
Yeah.
From the first-hand accounts, you get this sense of utter disbelief
Yeah.
and awe.
Yeah.
The heat and light
Yeah.
from the explosion
Yeah.
were so intense
Yeah.
that it was like midday.
Oh, wow.
In the middle of the night,
Wow.
people on shore, miles away, witnessed the blast.
Yeah.
The sky lighting up with an infernal glow.
Yeah, it must have been a truly terrifying
Terrifying.
and an unforgettable spectacle.
Unforgettable, absolutely.
It's mind-boggling.
It is.
And while the explosion was a devastating blow
Yeah,
to the French,
of course.
it must have been absolutely demoralizing for Napoleon,
Oh, I bet.
who was back in Cairo,
Yeah.
completely unaware
Yeah.
of the unfolding disaster.
You can picture him
Yeah.
poring over maps,
Yeah.
strategizing his next move
Yeah.
in this grand campaign
Yeah.
to control Egypt
Yeah.
and disrupt British trade routes.
The news of the Nile, when it finally reached him,
Yeah.
must have been a crushing blow.
Absolutely crushing.
He had staked so much on this Egyptian campaign,
He had.
envisioning himself as a modern-day Alexander the Great,
Right.
conquering new lands,
Yeah.
forging a new empire.
And here's Nelson
Yeah.
not only blocking his path back to Europe, but also shattering his carefully cultivated image of invincibility.
Yeah, the psychological impact of the Nile was immense.
Immense.
And it had a ripple effect that spread far beyond
Far beyond.
the shores of Egypt.
The shores of Egypt.
It's like the entire balance of power
Balance of power.
shifted
Shifted.
in an instant.
In an instant.
Yeah.
Precisely. The Battle of the Nile re-energized the fight against French expansion.
Yeah.
Austria,
Yeah.
Russia,
Yeah.
the Ottoman Empire.
Yeah.
They all started to believe that Napoleon wasn't this unstoppable force
Yeah.
that he had made himself out to be.
And back in Britain,
Back in Britain.
the victory at the Nile was met with unrestrained joy
Joy.
and celebration.
Oh, absolutely.
Imagine the news arriving in London.
Okay, I'm imagining it.
Church bells ringing,
Yeah.
bonfires blazing,
Mm-hmm.
people singing patriotic songs in the streets.
Yeah.
Nelson was hailed as a national hero,
National hero.
his name on everyone's lips.
Everybody's talking about Nelson.
The victory at the Nile was a much-needed morale boost
A morale boost.
for Britain.
After years of war.
After years of war, yeah.
They needed a win.
It's fascinating how a single battle could have such a profound impact
A profound impact.
on national morale
Yeah.
and international politics.
Absolutely.
But let's talk more about Nelson himself.
Okay, Nelson.
He's such a captivating figure.
Captivating, yeah.
Brilliant, audacious, charismatic.
All of those things.
But I get the sense that he was also a complex
Complex.
and flawed individual.
And nobody's perfect.
He was indeed.
He was.
Nelson was driven by a fierce ambition,
Fierce ambition.
a yearning for glory
Glory.
and recognition.
Recognition.
And while he was undoubtedly a brilliant
Brilliant.
naval tactician,
Yeah.
he could also be impulsive,
Impulsive.
reckless,
Reckless.
and even vain.
even vain.
His personal life,
Mhm.
particularly his scandalous affair with Lady Hamilton,
Oh, Lady Hamilton.
became the subject of much gossip
Gossip.
and controversy.
Oh, yeah.
Right, the Lady Hamilton saga.
That's a whole other story.
A story for another time, perhaps.
More faps.
But it's important to remember that history is full of these complex characters,
Complex characters, yeah.
individuals who were shaped by the times they lived in,
Right.
capable of great feats,
Pete's
and also prone to human failings.
human failings.
Absolutely. And Nelson, despite his flaws,
Despite his flaws.
was a remarkable leader
Remarkable leader.
who possessed an uncanny ability to inspire his men
Inspire his men.
and achieve extraordinary victories.
Extraordinary victory.
The Battle of the Nile stands as a testament
A testament.
to his tactical genius
Absolutely.
and the courage of the sailors who served under him.
And it wasn't just about one man's brilliance.
No.
The Battle of the Nile had a lasting impact on naval warfare itself.
Didn't it?
That's right.
Yeah.
Nelson's innovative tactics,
Yeah.
especially his use of anchoring from the stern
Yeah.
to deliver that devastating double-sided attack,
Yeah.
revolutionized naval warfare.
It showcased the importance of
Flexibility,
Yep.
surprise,
surprise,
and concentrated firepower.
Concentrated firepower.
Principles that would be studied and emulated by naval commanders
For generations to come.
for generations to come, yeah.
Absolutely.
It's amazing to think how one battle fought under uh, a blood red
Blood red.
Egyptian sunset
Yeah.
could have such a profound and lasting influence on the world.
It really is.
But we haven't talked much about what happened to the French army
Oh, the French army.
that was left stranded in Egypt
Stranded in Egypt.
after the destruction of their fleet.
Right.
What was their fate?
Well, that unfortunately is a tale of hardship. Yeah. Dwindling hope.
An ultimate defeat.
Remember Napoleon,
Napoleon,
ever the pragmatist,
pragmatist,
decided to cut his losses
cut his losses
and make his escape back to France,
escape back to France,
leaving his army to fend for themselves.
leaving his army behind.
That must have been a bitter pill to swallow.
A bitter pill to swallow.
For those soldiers,
Those poor soldiers.
abandoned by their leader
Abandoned
in a hostile land.
in a hostile land.
Those poor soldiers left behind in Egypt. What a story.
Their story is one of resilience and desperation and ultimately defeat. Imagine, you're a French soldier, far from home, in a foreign land. Your leader, who promised you glory and conquest, has vanished. You're stranded, surrounded by enemies. The weight of that betrayal, the crushing realization that you've been abandoned, it must have been incredibly heavy.
The almost Shakespearean. This once mighty army reduced to a band of survivors, clinging to their shattered dreams. I can only imagine that sense of disillusionment and despair.
And yet, they didn't surrender. They fought on for another year, launching raids, skirmishes, trying to maintain a foothold.
Driven by a hope of returning home.
Exactly. They even embarked on a campaign into Palestine, hoping to secure a route back to Europe. But it was a losing battle, constant attacks from the British and their Ottoman allies, disease, dwindling supplies. The odds were stacked against them.
So if they couldn't fight their way out, what happened?
They were forced to negotiate a surrender. With the British, they were allowed to evacuate, leaving behind their dreams of conquest and their hopes of a French presence in the East.
A tragic end to Napoleon's grand adventure, and a reminder that even the most ambitious campaigns can unravel. The Battle of the Nile was the decisive blow, but it was the struggles of this stranded army that sealed the fate of Napoleon's Egyptian campaign.
It reminds us that victory comes at a price, and the true cost of war extends beyond the battlefield.
You've given us a lot to think about. We've seen the brilliance of Nelson, the drama of that explosion, and the tragic fate of those soldiers. But why should we care about a battle that happened over 200 years ago? What makes it relevant to us today?
It transcends time. It's a story about ambition, courage, the unpredictable nature of history, the human cost of conflict. It reminds us that even seemingly insignificant events can have a ripple effect, shaping nations and lives for generations to come.
It's also about human ingenuity and innovation. Nelson's tactics changed the way naval battles were fought. It's a reminder that progress comes from challenging conventions and embracing bold ideas.
And it's a story about the human cost. Behind the empires and the victories, there are individual stories of bravery, sacrifice, and loss. The Battle of the Nile, a human drama, a reminder that war is ultimately about the lives of individuals.
A powerful thought. Well, there you have it, our deep dive into the Battle of the Nile. A clash of ambitions, incredible courage, a pivotal moment in history. It's been a fascinating journey. We hope you've enjoyed it as much as we have.
And remember, this is just the beginning. There's always more to discover, more to uncover, more stories to tell. So we encourage you to explore, delve deeper, consider the legacy of this event.
And who knows, maybe you'll uncover something new. That adds another dimension to this story. Until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep diving deep.